Hello, guys. Good evening, everyone. It's a Friday night. Happy Friday, and I hope you had a good day today. It was the last day of the trading week, but as always, we are here once again to talk about the daily stock market review or stock insights for your requested stocks or the most trending ones in the market. By the way, if this is your first time to watch my video, this is Miss JD. I am a part-time trader slash investor, position trader, but full-time. I have a day job, in other words, but I still do this as a daily rigor because we want to build that skill along with you guys. I know why you're here today. Is because you also want to further your knowledge in the world of stock market. So join me as we discuss and talk about the thought process on why my insights are, such. And if this is your first time and you have not subscribed yet to our channel, I'm inviting you to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you're always updated. Likewise, I do have a Patreon account, and so if you want to have a more personalized interaction with Miss JD, I'll put the link in the description box, and I hope you can also check that out. And we're also in eToro. If you want to start trading the US market, eToro is highly recommended. I've been trading using this platform for almost 2 years in eToro, so great platform so far. Okay, so let's get started. Let me talk about the index first. So if you're curious to know the indicator that I'm using a Bollinger Band. This is it, okay? And I also use RSI over here plus the volume, and of course we just combine it with support and resistance in the candlesticks, and we're all set. That's how we do our thing. So all right, this is how so far for the index we are sustaining at the new support level for our index, and I think we are just currently stabilizing at this level. If it is going to drop, I feel that it is just going to revisit the 6,700 to 6,800 level. A reason for that is because this is the support we currently have, and it's just stabilizing. In fact, one thing I like about how the candlestick ended today is that it's, I think, just, well, we have really no control, but in case it goes down further, it's just up to this point. Considering that most of the businesses are starting to recover, and we're not at the top yet. Sorry. Mhm. So see that at one point we even reached the 8,000 level um, in the last quarter of 2019. Okay, so that's our outlook for the index, and let us go ahead and check out the most trending ones. Of course, well, I already checked this out at the homepage. In Investograms, you'll see the most trending stocks at the right side. So let me go ahead and start with Dito. By the way, Dito, there's no change in how we're looking at Dito. Definitely all the disclosures that we have received in the past few days. In fact, I think there's another one. Yeah. The trading was halted again because of the restructuring that's happening. But overall, the fact that this is under Dennis Uy, be it in Dito CME, Dito Telecommunity, it's all Dennis Uy. So there are so many conversations happening left and right, but my outlook, me being part of, me being in a position in the stock, it's just very straightforward. The fact that this company is involved in the third telco, then I'm all set. That's my only objective why I'm here. And I have partially taken profit when it reached 748, and I re-entered it back around 613 level, and um, we're just waiting for it to continue moving its price higher and higher. And good thing that most of the actions right now and all these closures that are happening within our bias. And lastly, the fact that this candlestick ended, talking about technicals now, it ended at the MA20 line. Then that's a good area where it stopped. Because normally when we're moving higher than MA20, MA20 could act as a support. And also you have this consolidation that happened over here. So looking really, really promising at the moment. 630 is currently a support, but you have to make sure that it holds there. However, if you're a long-term investor, then when it drops, maybe you can just add some more. 816 on foreign buying, that's a good sign. All right, so that is Dito. Acen, all-time high, 52-week high. So I like that here. This was your opportunity to, add some more volume at this point, considering that this one over here, as it went near the MA20, the bounce happened, and this could have already been, in the first 5 minutes of here. It happened right here. On the first 5 minutes, it was moving up, and you're also at the oversold level. Look at that. So if you're watching the faster time frame, this was your opportunity to add right away. So overall, I see that. Why? Okay. So if I am to go back to the daily chart, this for me is a bounce. However, if you're still interested in getting in the stock, try to haggle between 392 to 418 because the volume is still there. I see it moving up some more. I see this stock increasing its price even higher. So 3.19, but definitely play it by ear. Use a faster time frame because you're already at a 52-week high. But again, this stock is still very bullish. Momentum is still present. So 3.92 if you want to get in. The volume is so huge. AC Energy eyes Singapore firm's 20 billion investment. So another, maybe you can read this. Another. So I have not really read the news about this stock, but if you are to read the conversations in the social media feed of Instagrams, everyone's so bullish for Acen. But I'm just looking at the technicals, and technical says that support is around 392, and this is your resistance over here that could eventually become a support. But manage your size, okay? Because this is already on the expensive side. Next one is MRC. This, I think, has a very promising setup. Also, it has similar to Acen, this stock has already climbed up so much, but at least it's not that, it's just starting like midway. This is the support I'm looking at. Hold on. Here, of course, that's where your MA20 is. And the reason why I'm saying that it's just halfway, it's because of this one. At one point, it reached here, and I think a lot of people are really looking forward to this migrating into a holdings company. And that was also part of the disclosure, and they're just waiting for the documentation from, if I'm not mistaken, SEC, for their papers to be officially approved, and the change can happen. That's why a lot of people are so bullish and talking about MRC in the past few weeks. Look at that. So if you have entered around this level, this is already an increase by 100, almost 100%. Okay. I have a very small size in MRC because I entered around, my average here is around 0.26, but I started taking profit around this level, and I re-entered and I exited around 0.40. So I have entered and exited several times, so I only have a very, very small size left, but it's already at the 70+% gain. You know, sometimes you will have some regrets. Why did I exit? But that's fine. At least, I'm just locking in some profit. I would always say that. I'm just locking in some profit. Sigurista lang. At least there is still a small size left to ride the wave all the way up. And so, if the market gives us a chance, because I know it will really take some time before that holdings bias, will materialize. It'll take a few, even months, if you know. So people are waiting for that to happen, and so it can still fluctuate. And if it gives us a chance around the 0.42, that's an even better area. But this is for mid to long term investors, because definitely there's a promising reward ahead of us. Look at that. Just looking at the technicals. But of course, the fundamentals, if a really good thing will happen, it could even surpass this level. So that's for MRC. Let's talk about now. So this is something that I've been sharing to Carlo, one of our members in our Patreon, and he has a good entry here. But I was mentioning yesterday that this one has a downtrend channel, and so it is respecting this trend line so far. And what I can say here is around the 4 peso level, yeah, around that area. That's our threshold. So if for it's an area, okay, so let's just take note of that. So it could still fluctuate, and let's say if it stabilizes at the support, then that could be the end of the downtrend. And even better is if it breaks out. So we were waiting for this to break out, but we still have some chance, because this one, it could move within this range for several days until it probably breaks out. But the moment it breaks down, then that's the time, you really gotta think fast, because that's very near your entry price. I know your entry price. So this 4 peso plays a critical role in your decision making. So hopefully, so one thing we have noticed here is that so far, for the past how many weeks, now and Dito are moving almost on the same direction. So let us see if this will also have some positive gains when Dito moves up. And just take note of these lines that we have here. I know you have a different indicator. I use Bollinger Band and some lines here for support and resistance. But definitely, key areas, take note of this downtrend channel. And the moment it breaks out of that, then that's a good breakout play. If it breaks out of our support, then act fast and cut your loss. If it is a loss, or lock in some profit if you are still on the positive side. Okay. MWIDE. This stock, I mentioned this as well in the Patreon. I said that this is something that we need to closely monitor, because here we were at a resistance area, right? And if it manages to cross beyond the resistance level, then you have a breakout play at a very cheap area. So this is a breakout of our sideways, and imagine how cheap it is right now. Okay, so you are still at a very good area. So I'd say even if it says 8.75, anywhere between 8.02 to 8.75 is a good area to catch. Okay, so guys, if you want to have an advanced um, input on the stocks that could potentially pan out, check out our Patreon account, or join my Patreon. I send, or I share good stock picks that are likely to rally for those who are of the same, probably like my profile. I'm a position trader, and this kind of setup is the best setup that I can uh, uh, think of. Look at this, from a sideways, and the Bollinger Band is constricted. It's now starting to expand, and from sideways you have your good volume. So really good formation at the moment. So um, if you want that kind of um, help in terms of your trading adventure here, check out the Patreon account. Anyway, so 8.02, anywhere between 8.02 to 8.75, still a very attractive level. Next one is Mart. Mart. Okay, so Mart has rallied for several days. You're now at the overbought. We are also, so for those people who may have been trapped right at this area, I think congratulations, you are free. Uh, but just be very careful, because people might take profit again. This is a resistance level. However, if really the volume is not that much, see that? So it could, the market could easily pull it down, and retracement or correction can happen. So maybe when a red candlestick comes out near this resistance area, that's your sign of weakness. But it's still a green, and if it manages to cross beyond the 449 and one candlestick ends outside of that, then you have a 52-week high. And when you're very near a 52-week high, or you are at the 52-week high, you don't have a historical data that would stop the price. So promising setup if you are breaking a 52-week high. Um, it's like an exaggeration, but really it's sky's the limit, because there's no ceiling up there. Okay, but just know your trading plan. Have a trading plan before you enter. Like for instance, you know that there's no resistance anywhere here, but decide where you want to take profit. Are you happy with a 30% gain? Then go ahead, exit at 6. If you want to have a long-term um, outlook, then you can increase your profit taking levels, but manage your expectations. Of course, there will be fluctuations along the way, so that's something you need to prepare for. Okay, so know that the resistance right now is 449, and if there's a sign of weakness, then of course probably catch it where your MA20 line is. However, if there's a breakout, then go for it. There will be more bullish movements once it breaks the all-time high. The next one is C. C revisited your MA20 line. Okay, and I think if we don't break this 578 or 580 level, then we're safe. this is a bounce area, considering that you have your MA20 line right very near this level. So maybe if you are considering to re-enter, wait for the green candlestick to come out. And I think the best way to do it is towards the latter part of the day, do an end of day trading, and or enter and probably enter at end of day. At least you see a full picture. If you're ending indeed higher than 578, so that's a bounce. But if there is a continuation of the decline, then it's a different story. You might have to uh, plot again an area where you could potentially use as a support. If that happens, then this is your key level. So I'm giving you always giving you two scenarios here. It depends on your profile. So are you um, a would you like to wait for instance, if this continues to give us a green here, then that could be another entry. If it breaks, you know how many days you need to wait, you know at what level you need to enter, because you already have plotted areas here. So 4.88, if it breaks 578, or if it shows as a green, then that's a good entry for C. Okay, so that's it. Look at the volume. For the longest time, it has been sleeping, and the action really happened right here. So uh, the Dito and C tandem really will have a connection in whatever movement they are going to have come Monday. I'm not really sure, but I'm just purely basing my analysis on the technicals that I see. PHR. PHR, second day of bullish movement here. There's good volume, but it did not fully break the MA20 line yet. So yeah, we are already at a 54 level. Okay, so maybe what you can do here is, let's use this. If it breaks out of the MA20, then that's a good sign. Let it cross the MA20 so that you can be very sure. Right, because if you have another red here, then that's not a good sign, because that would mean you have reached a lower high. Okay, when there is a red candlestick that will come out here, it will create a lower high, and then when it drops, it could either go back to the previous support, and if that will not hold, then it will create a lower low. Now you have a downtrend. Because right now, if you're going to look at it, it's just overall, it's just sideways, technically. I'm going to plot the second area of support here. I mean, this is the support right now. Support, resistance, but we want to have a breakout, because definitely look at that. This is already at a very, very cheap level, and this is the time when we have this significant volume starting to pile up here. All throughout, really no volume. This is because of when was the November 13th? Oh, 23 days ago. There was I know this is also something to do with Dennis Oy. Let me just confirm that. PHR. Checking. Bullish. There's a news about this before. Hmm. I can't find the news. But if you guys have, you're familiar with the news around PHR, feel free to drop a comment. I know that's something to do with acquisition, if I'm not mistaken, and it also involves Dennis Way. FOO. Kabili sa FOO price na hindi na shake hands. Okay, go ahead and drop a comment. I can't remember the backstory fully. If people are doubting how far you can go, road to 3 go so far that you can't hear them anymore. Okay, so that's it. I can probably drop a comment here once I get the full picture of the story. But this talk, for the longest time, it's not that popular, but recently it gained some traction because of some news about this. The next stock is Mac. Mac. Okay, Mac has managed to break out of this resistance, and it did a gap up. It revisited the gap with a long wick. This is what we like, you know. It will just revisit the gap within the day and then goes up again. So I feel like there is a big chance that it will continue to move higher and higher. Because look at this. This is just a like MWIDE, right? Similar to MWIDE, it did a breakout, and then for this stock particularly, it just tried to stabilize, and I think it'll continue to move higher and higher, considering the massive drop that it experienced since last year. Okay, so if the market gives you a chance, probably between 650 to 7, that's a good area to continue accumulating. Okay, but if in case it goes back to 595, even better, right? So maybe you can do test buys for now because this is already a 19% drop, so you can haggle probably right here, 951 level. Use this as your first area of support there, 655. At least if it drops again, you know where to catch it, 595. Next one is IDC. IDC also managed to break out. This is also another good stock. So it did a breakout at this level, stabilized, and then there's this significant push in the price today. So probably I'd say there will be, we're approaching, look at this, price level is increasing, but your RSI is giving us some slow, some decline. So I'd say maybe if you can haggle for a few cents, the nearer you are to the 297 area, the better. So maybe because 651 in the Philippine market, that's already a significant increase. So probably haggle halfway, and that's a much better entry by then. And maybe wait for it for a few weeks and lock in some profit around. Well, it depends on you because there could be some more push in the price higher, but it might take a longer time. So maybe if you're happy with a 4 peso, then go for it. I see a resistance at the 4, probably another resistance nearby as well at the 366 area. There. Consolidation over here. You can even do a weekly chart if you like. So around this area and then this level, so those are your key areas. 297 is the nearest support, just in case people will be taking some profit, because now I'm on a weekly chart and it gave us this kind of view. So this means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, more than a month of being very bullish. I will not be surprised if people will be taking some profit. 297 is the support that I'm looking at. So if we are to go back on a daily chart, um, maybe you can wait if you want, or wait halfway if you're really if you're a big believer on the fundamentals of IDC. Next is tag. This one I have a position as well. When the price reached 538, I entered, and this was, where was that? Can't remember when I added some volume. 538, or maybe this part, if I'm not mistaken. So it's now increasing. 538, now 22%. Okay, but it's just starting to climb up, so I'm not taking profit anytime soon. If it'll fluctuate, well, I'll wait and see. If I see, because we are already in the overbought level, so it's also possible that there will be some profit taking that will happen. But I want to preserve our good average here, because it's at a low level. So if in case it pushes the price higher, because this stock has also been badly hit. Imagine this, it dropped from this much, right? It even reached up to the 50s level, and now we're just getting it at around the 5 peso area. So I can stay here for a really, really long time, because the entry price is so it's at a very cheap level. In fact, wherever it is right now, if you want to get in, I think this is still very healthy, still at a good level. So if it experiences some profit taking, 633 is already a good area to try out. 633, still a good level, considering the big potential someday. Look at that. And with this stock, I know they won a big partnership or transaction in the US involving their 5G. I think that happened back in July, if I'm not mistaken. So that's another, this one, Certec subsidiary bags telco contract for 5G in the US. So that was 2 months ago. So I think slowly this will give us some more bullish moves in the coming days. So a must I'm not saying that you must buy, but I think it's really good to have on your watch list, and then find your entry. Okay, so let's try to check out the other stocks. Let's check out our BDO. BDO is on a red today, but again, this is another good opportunity for a very good stock to just be stabilizing at the moment here, and it's actually starting to climb up. So this is still a very good area to accumulate. Your momentum is still on the healthy side. It's above the 50 level. So I think if you see a green candlestick, or if you want to be very sure, around the 93 peso area, wherever it is at right now, the moment the market opens, go ahead and probably add more volume, or consider entering, because it's still looking very, very healthy at this point. Okay. Look at their revenue. They also gained, at least you also have some continuous, very, very stable dividend releases every quarter. So good to have on your portfolio as well. BPI managed to really shoot up in price, and people are profitable. That's why they're locking in some profit, hence the drop in the price. So I see it probably dropping some more, and stabilize, and might stabilize at around the 78.41, because these areas used to be your resistance, and might revisit here, probably stabilize first, then continue to move up again. Okay, look at that. This is your support there. So another good stock to just, you know, have as a mainstay in your portfolio for long term. Uh, Ali, on the other hand, is really triggering this breakout. Okay, so it's not fully confirmed because I don't see this entire candlestick ending outside of the 38.26. What I want to see is one full candlestick landing outside. Then I can say, okay, you have a breakout there. So probably we have to wait and see. But tomorrow, if indeed it will continue to, no, Monday. I mean, it's only a Saturday tomorrow. So one candlestick to end higher than 38.26, then we're good. But overall, Ali is also starting to recover. Acen, okay, we talked about this. JFC, okay, JFC. So let me just quickly share to you what I did here. So in JFC, I managed to enter around 133. But take note, I also have some shares that I got prior to the lockdown. So that means my average for my other shares are higher than 193. But because I got a 133, okay, so I entered at 133, then definitely my cost average went lower. And now JFC overall is a green on my portfolio. But what I did here is that I took note of the number of shares I got at the 133 level. And if you are to compute this, 133, say, where is that? Around 133 to this level is around, okay, let's just have that. 133 to this level, that is already a good 45% increase. Okay, so what the game plan I did here was I exited I exited my capital, and then from the shares the number of shares I got here at the 133 level, right? So we know that we are already 45% profitable. Then I exited the amount that served as my capital, and then I let the remaining number of shares that are already under the profit category, I let it stay there because I know that this stock, with the second day being red, that's already a sign of weakness. People are already taking profit. And so what I plan to do here is that if it continues to decline and probably revisits the 178, then I can just re-enter, and it will um, re-enter, and then probably could maintain my average around this area already. Okay, but at least I have already locked in that I preserved my capital, and what's playing right now is just the profit. Okay, so that's one strategy you can also consider. Enter if you want to. If you, let's say, you entered at a very high level, and then you want to bring down your cost average, wait for it to go really really low, and then that's when you add your additional shares. Then the result of that is a much lower cost average. And if you want to um, take some profit, always bear in mind the amount you entered at the low level, the number of shares you got, and that's the only thing that you will take profit from. And now, even though your portfolio is showing green for that particular stock, have a psychological reminder, or you have to remind yourself that you also bought some shares that were on the expensive side. And so you should not exit yet, because you know for a fact that you bought it at a higher level. And only then, the only time you will be able to exit, at least on a break even, if that price revisits the original price where you bought it. Let's say you bought it at 225. even though it's showing green on your portfolio right now, you will not be taking profit for that because technically you're still at a loss. Wait for it to go 225 so you're at least break even for that particular transaction. So it really pays to have a journal of your trades, because you can go in and out of a transaction or in and out of a stock, and you can deal with so many stocks. At least you won't forget the story of each stock. Okay, so those are my 2 cents. For now, I see this stock dropping. This being on the second day of being red, I feel it will retrace, rest for a while, and I hope you won't hate me for this. I'm waiting for it to drop to as low as 179, in fact. So I want it to drop first around this, because this used to be a resistance, and it's also very near your MA20. So if it drops here, then I can re-enter and reposition again. All right. So that is it for now. I hope you got some insights in today's episode. And if you want more of this, just click the subscribe and the notification bell so you're always updated. And drop a comment. Let me know your thoughts. In the meantime, happy weekend, and thank you. Bye bye for now.